What's going on, YouTube? Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. All right, so here we are. I want you guys to follow my instruction, at least just for a second. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that. We got a couple of subscribers from the last video where we talked about Zach Calzada. Definitely appreciate that support. And got a lot to unpack in this video. It's going to be kind of short, though. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. Okay, so I think we need to be a little realistic in this video for just a moment. And let's look at some numbers. Let's look at some things that are really pertinent to what we have to talk about. And one of my favorite players on Auburn's football team is Tank Bigsby, but I think we need to have a real conversation. Now, we can have a real conversation about this. I think the powers that be, or the people that he reports to, especially Carnell Williams, needs to be having this conversation with him. Once again, this is a CarCast. Shout out to Gregory Lawrence, Jr., who really likes these CarCasts. I'm gonna go ahead and put my seatbelt on for safety purposes. Also, join the channel. We talk about a lot of real good stuff over here. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. Auburn is facing a challenge in the 2022 seasons on a lot of levels. One, they got to win. I mean, that's the bottom line. I did a video on the first 6. Auburn absolutely has to execute the first 6, or we're going to have the Trail of Tears going from either Brian Harsin getting fired or complaining about his result going into the 2023 recruiting class. Something that I've been holding in the holster for maybe a year or so, as I visualized some realistic numbers as it relates to the NFL. And Tank Bigsby kind of came to mind. Do I think Tank Bigsby is the best running back, obviously, on Auburn's team? Yep. Do I think he is arguably one of the more athletic running backs and have the most upside in the SEC? Of course I do. No doubt about it. My concern with Tank Bigsby is not whether he's going to have 1,200 yards this year. I think he can. I hope he does, for his sake. I hope he does for Auburn's sake, Auburn's success sake. But those numbers, as we're going to talk about in this video, I'm not too sure that in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the totality of his career as an NFL football player, he's going to the NFL. Barring any injury, Tank Bigsby is going to the NFL. But we got some numbers that we need to talk about that's gonna kind of, I want you guys to try this on for your mental size as we push this Heisman issue, we push this first round draft pick issue, and the economic situation that comes about with the NFL player and their things like that. Okay, so number one, here's why I'm concerned about Tank Bigsby. Not at Auburn. I think he's going to be he's a great Auburn football player. He's going to have at least 1,000 yards this year. That is not up for debate. Okay? That's already in the cards. He's going to do that. My issue in the grand scheme of things, let's take a look at all of the Auburn players. Let's do this for step number one. Let's look at all the Auburn football players who ran the football, and let's look at their lifespan in the NFL. Bo Jackson, pretty short. Stephen Davis, kind of sort of short too. Ronnie Brown, definitely short. Of course, Carnell Williams, really short. NFL Rookie Player of the Year. Really short. So you say, well, Vernon Speaks, Kennard Stewart, why are you doing this video? The reason why I'm doing this video is because I want to talk about the downsizing of the value of the running back position in the NFL. Kind of sort of in college football too. The game has picked up the pace. So what would you rather have? And a lot of other teams have kind of caught on to this. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a guy that runs for, 1,500 yards at 4.5 yards per carry? Or would you rather have a receiver that, catches the ball at 15 yards per touch and can keep pace? What are you going to do with the running back, as good as Tank Bigsby is, once you get behind 2 scores? I mean, you can't chunk your way back in. You gotta really push the ball down the field to get back into the football game. And not only has college football figured that out, but the NFL has too. When was the last first round? No. Okay, there have been some first round running backs. We're not going to discount the position like that. When was the last number 1 pick in the draft a running back? It's been a while. It's been a while. I mean, I'm not even going to do the research to figure out when the last time. And even if they were in the first round, they were in the lower portion of the first round, 27 or worse, eclipsing maybe at the 32 mark. So, as much as all of this has come out, Tank Bigsby is one of the top running backs in the SEC, arguably. Maybe even in college football. But let's not discount the fact that the running back position in football, just like many other positions, let's just say like the center, the true center position in the NBA or college basketball, has become obsolete. That's why I'm kind of concerned about Jabari. I think Jabari is a good basketball player, but he has a lot of old school tendencies. You can argue with me if you want, but I saw a lot of old school tendencies in Jabari Smith. Yeah, he'll go first round. I think he'll be successful. But he's going to have to loosen up his gameplay. There's a lot of great athletes in college basketball that can trump Jabari Smith's athleticism, if you will. He's going to have to loosen up. A lot of rigidity there. No criticism, but we like to be real on this channel, and we like to be real about where we are and the outcomes. Okay, so Tank Bigsby, for example, if Auburn is going to be successful, Tank Bigsby has to play at an optimal level. Now, what will help Tank Bigsby do that is some of the teams that have made the college football playoff. What do? They throw the football. And then they utilize the running game as pretty much as a dagger in your heart. Like, say, for instance, LSU, for example, back in 2019. Pass. But the dagger in your heart is Edward Clyde Elaire, who went in the first round. That's how Tank Bigsby is going to have to be utilized if he's going to make it to the NFL. And I think Brian Harsin Tank Bigsby was talking about transferring, and when you look at the utilization as to how they're going to try to approach the utilization of Tank Bigsby, I think Brian Harsin might be spot on to say, hey, look, I think you can be a great running back. I think you can be very productive, not only with us, but also market yourself as an NFL running back. But hey, man, you got to figure out a way to utilize what you can do running the football after we hand the ball off to you. You have to figure out how we can throw the ball to you and you make an impact. That's going to maximize your potential as an NFL player. And even as such, let's say Tank Bigsby does all that. Let's say the typical running back in NFL does that. We got to go with the raw numbers. Carnell Williams, his coach, his mentor, needs to be telling him this. Your lifespan in the NFL might not be that long. So what do you need to do? You need to learn how to coach. You need to learn how to hone some other skills outside of just the optimal level of the NFL. Is Tank Bigsby smart enough to do this? I don't know him like that. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he will. I don't know if his, trajectory is even looking at that. But I'm going to tell you what. If he wants to be ultimately successful, he needs to utilize the stewardmanship of the game and learn how to coach. Learn the game to where, hey, if all of this crap doesn't work out, you can still coach, right? A lot of players are doing that. Carnell Williams is in a better place than a lot of the folks that was drafted in his same class because he figured out, hey, shit, the running back shit ain't gonna work. I'm gonna coach. Let me know what you think about this video. My name is Kennard Vernon Stewart. I appreciate you listening. I hope you find some value, not only as an Auburn fan, but maybe in your subsequent life. Maybe this will help you on your job. Maybe this will help you in subsequent life. I tell you what, whether you know it or not, it's always great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. Shout out to Tank Bigsby and the rest of the Auburn football team who are working their behinds off to get ready for the season. No matter the outcome, I am here to do commentary on my Auburn Tigers, your Auburn Tigers. This is your channel where you can come and voice your opinion. And I won't kick your ass about it. I won't kick you in the ass about it. I won't judge you about it. Go ahead and hit that join button. Pick one of the subscriptions for the month. Hit the Cash App. War Eagle.